Hello YouTube. In today's video we're going to be unboxing this enormous box. So, you already know what's inside it, judging by the video title of course. So, let's open it up. Alright. First of all, props for the packing, very nice. And here is the box that we've been waiting for. I'm not sure if there's anything else in there, I don't really care. I'm all about that MacBook Pro 15-inch. Oh yeah. As you know, I've sold my MacBook Pro Retina a while ago. And I've been using a mid-2007 white MacBook that I got for 45 euros. And that's a great machine. I put some money into it for a new battery, and I put an SD in that laying around. And that's an absolutely perfect machine for browsing, doing some text editing. That's pretty much everything it needs to do, and it does that very well. But I always wanted one of the very first generations of MacBook Pro. And this is the very first model. As you can see, let's take a tour around the box here. As you can see here on the back of the box we get the MacBook Pro 15-inch with, of course, OS X Tiger. And by the way, let's just take a look here. I'm actually not sure whether this is the original box or not, because this actually doesn't describe the model that I ordered. Because this says Intel Core 2 Duo 2.16, but in the pictures it said it was a Core Duo model with 4 megabytes level 2, 1 gigabyte RAM. Well, I ordered the original model, which would be the Core Duo model, so I guess we'll have to find out. Maybe this was a box for a later model, I don't know, but I'm kind of all over the place. I'm sorry about that, but I'm just pretty excited about this thing. I've always wanted these. I mean, I know I have a PowerBook G4, which is basically the same design. I'm very much aware of that much, but you know. Okay, so it is in fact the original packaging for a MacBook Pro, at least for this first generation design. Now let's take that out. This piece of styrofoam. We're going to keep that intact because that'll be very nice if I ever want to sell it. Let's see what's included in the box. Of course, here we have the notebook. We'll take a look at that in a bit. We also have the front row remote. We have the power adapter, which is looking pretty shot, but the cables are still good. No kinks, no cracks, nothing like that. So the power adapter is, well, aside from being scratched and dirty, it should be working. It's 60 watts, okay? I thought these used 85 watt adapters. Maybe include one from a different model, I don't know. I actually think my white MacBook has a more powerful adapter, so I'll use that. Okay. Oh wow. It actually included a blank DVD. From what I've heard, this is actually a copy of Snow Leopard. Literally a copy of Snow Leopard. And this is the notebook. Okay, so let's close the box. I don't really need these items right now. I'm just putting this in the light here so I can judge the condition. We have light scratches on the top, one small little dent here. It's very small, very noticeable. But just some very light scratching on the top, nothing that's really in your face or anything. This is in better condition than the Ultimate PowerBook thing that I got. On the bottom it's a slightly different story. This is just typical usage. One thing to note though, all feet are there. As you can see, all 4 of them. He said the battery needed replacing. Yeah, it's absolutely flat. It's probably dead as well. It almost seems to me that he used some stock images, pretty much. I'm still thrown off by the fact that it says Core 2 Duo on the box, but the advert said it was a Core Duo. I mean, I'll say this, if this actually is a Core 2 Duo, then it will be the steal of the century, really. Let me just get a different MagSafe. I'll use my MacBook's MagSafe, which is the L-style adapter, which I've got right here. Let's check this wattage. Wow, it doesn't even say. Huh. Oh, it's also 60 watt. Okay, well, it doesn't matter at all. Oh, well, I actually forgot to take a tour around the ports. Let's do that first. Here's the MagSafe connector, USB port, audio in and a line out. The Express 34 slot is right there. On the front we have the latch. Here we have the Kensington lock, another USB port, a very dirty FireWire 400 port, gigabit Ethernet, and DVI. Overall, it's in decent condition. It just needs a good cleanup. That's pretty much what it needs. So let's connect the MagSafe. There you go. It turns green. It's not turning amber, so I'm just guessing the battery is stone dead. In that case, he did in fact use a stock image, because his image that he used in the picture for this ad showed that the battery was still intact. So I'll have to order a new battery for this. So let's just breathe in a little bit here. The inside has absolutely no signs of wear, aside from the A key on the keyboard, oddly enough. It also feels like there's something stuck to it. Well, interestingly, it's the A and the E buttons that are the keys that have some sort of wear on them, but that's it, really. That's interesting. Huh. Well, let's turn it on. Wow, the range on those speakers is pretty good. Okay, so it's booting up now. The optical drive is pretty sad, but well, if it works, that's all I care about. But if this is in fact a Core 2 Duo model, that would mean this is a late 2006 and not an early 2006 like the ad specified. So let's find out here about this Mac. And here it says Core Duo, so I guess he used a different box, because this is the late 2006 box, and this is in fact an early 2006, like I ordered. So it's Intel Core Duo. Sorry, I got interrupted there. So like I said, it is the Core Duo. It is a MacBook Pro 1.1, 2 GB of RAM, so that's maxed out. That's good. See, ATA, I've got a Matsushita hard drive or optical drive. That's typical. Got a Fujitsu drive, 100 GB, so that's probably the original drive. Alright. We're going to be replacing that one with SSD, of course. I mean, come on, that's just, I hate hard drives. 4900 display. Yeah. Radeon X1600 graphics. That's good. So I'm just going to see how this performs in comparison to the white MacBook. This can do pretty much the same things that I need the MacBook to do. Then I will of course use this, because this has an absolutely amazing keyboard, and the Core 2 Duo MacBook does not really have a great keyboard at all. I mean, things that I like about the MacBook Pro keyboards historically is that the keys are very, very smooth. They are not really all that heavily textured. I think the plastic MacBook keys are a bit rough. They don't feel as smooth, and I just don't really like the feel. I'm pretty tactile typer. I like smooth keys. I don't like textured keys at all. But this keyboard looks fine. So let's just take a look here. I will need to connect to Wi-Fi first. I don't care if anybody knows my Wi-Fi password. You can go suck a dick. Okay. Let's do the obligatory CNN.com listing. Okay, let's go to Apple.com first. Good. That's fine. Let's wait for that to load. It's clear that this Safari is not up to date, because it only loads a small portion of the website. This thing has wireless G, I think. Let's check. Yep, this is wireless G still. Well, that's okay. And yeah, this Safari is too old. I don't think this is updated yet. It is on 10.6.8, but I don't think this is actually with an updated Safari, because it should have like Safari 5 or 6. I think 6. I think it's Safari 6.1.4 or something that it should have. And that loads pages just fine. And even if you just install like the last version of Chrome that will run on this, or Firefox ESR, I think 42, those run fine on Snow Leopard. So that should be no problem. And I'll probably dual boot this machine with, I think Windows 7 would suit it just fine. Just so I can have some more up-to-date software there. Yeah, it's the latest version of Safari Disk could run in Safari 5.1.10. And it really needs a symmetric fuck ton of updates. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to reinstall the operating system. This is a good way to test and see if the optical drive is working. I just want to make sure that it can read the disk just fine and eject it. And overall, I think we're good. It's in absolutely great shape. I mean, I think the previous owner really took care of this machine. Probably only used it as like a desktop replacement or something. This is max brightness. That's actually pretty good from this distance. I'll say though that the screen is absolutely gorgeous in comparison to what the white MacBooks have. It's by no means a Retina, but it's more than adequate. Yep, it's Snow Leopard alright. And it read just fine. Well, that just means that I'll have to take out the disk, shut the machine down, and I'll have to install an SSD and get Snow Leopard reinstalled. And then we're going to boot camp Windows 7 from there. I'm not going to do that on video. I'm just going to show it once I'm done with that. Quite frankly, I have no time right now to do the entire process, because it takes me absolutely forever to do that on camera as well. Luckily, these machines are pretty much built in a similar fashion to the PowerBooks, so it should be pretty easy to get this thing up and running with an SSD. I hope you enjoyed this video of my unboxing of the early 2006 MacBook Pro 15-inch that I got for a very good price. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, I just want to make this little clip here as an addendum to the video. As you can tell, it is pretty much apart. I've installed an SSD, you can see it there on the left side. And I figured it would be fun to know or to experience whether I can actually see the SSD. So this is not all pointless. I actually discovered, I don't have power plugged in, that the machine had a firmware password, so I couldn't actually select the USB drive to boot up from. And in fact, it is very easy to circumvent the firmware password on any Intel Mac. Just remove the memory modules, replace them with some others you've got, and then do a PRAM reset, and the password is cleared. Yeah, that's some proper security right there. I figured that some people would like to know that. At least I can now properly boot. I mean, I'm not sure whether the optical drive is actually sort of busted, because I tried to boot from the DVDs, but maybe the firmware password was just blocking booting from CD as well. I have no idea. But we're going to find out in this clip to whether or not the SSD works, or whether it's detected or not. It's a SATA 1 machine, it's a SATA 3 SSD, and that sometimes it gives some problems. If it's not detected, then I will swap it out with the one in the 2007 MacBook. But this problem really only happened on PowerPC Macs that I have with SSDs. So the iMac G5 is very picky, needs SATA 1 or SATA 2 SSDs, and the PowerBook G4 doesn't seem to care as long as you've got an IDE bridge that works. So yeah, So now we're just waiting for the Snow Leopard USB stick that I made to boot up. And after that we'll find out whether the SSD is good. I know the SSD itself is good, it's brand freaking new. I bought it for a socket 1156 system that I had for about a week. But, that's been bought already, so that's gone. Anyways, I'll get back to you once this is finished booting up, which it may or may not. Oh, there we go. Wow. Didn't even need to edit that out. Wasn't that just great? Alright. Let's go in the installation there. Now we can access the utilities. Let's go to disk utility. The DVD is working. Yep, we can see the SSD. 120 gigabyte Kingston. Let's just prepare it while we're at it. I think we should. Master boot record, nope. Switch that to GPT. And switch the name to Macintosh. No, Macintosh SSD. Because HDs are for pussies. There we go. Okay, unmounting disk. It's taking forever. Creating partition map. And complete. Alright. Well, that's great. Okay, so I can start setting up Snow Leopard on this thing, I guess. Good. So I'm gonna do that. So this was the addendum to the video. Thank you again, and see you guys next time.